Hello, everyone. I hope you're doing well. Well, actually, I'm with my friend Robin today.
Hello, everyone.
And we're not doing a live show. We're doing, some sort of a live. That means we are recording live. Okay, so what you see is what you get. There will be no editing in this video. But what we will do is we will talk about what will be our next video project, what we'll do in the future, and maybe you have some idea you can suggest to us and just put it in the comments below. And like we did in French, we ask, what we do you want us to talk about? We have a few subjects we want to talk about today. We did talk for about an hour and a half in French, so we got lost in many subjects, but and we also have a problem with one camera that was very grainy, but it's still we did post the video anyway online, but we did a few modifications for the English version of this video. So Robin, how do you do?
Fine.
Okay, so you're all good?
Yes.
Oh, good. So we're going to talk, and then we'll see what this will lead us. We actually going to talk about many things and what we will do for a future project. There's also live show. It's the same setup, but with the live show, we have the ability to exchange with you guys. So answer your question live and try to go through. But the project we wanted to do is a bit complicated. It is something that is not well known outside France. Even here in Quebec, it's not very well known, but it's a network they built which they use a Raspberry Pi or a Orange Pi with a simple module that they put on, and it's actually an hotspot, but it's more of an analog hotspot. That means you use an analog FM radio, and then you enter to their network where they have a lot of repeaters connected together. It's called the RRF for Radio Amateur.
French Réseau des Répéteurs Français, which is a network French
repeaters.
Yes.
And they did some link, and they use a technology that was developed initially for Echolink, which is called an SVX link.
Yes, and made by SM3 SVX.
Okay, and anyway, it's something interesting, but because I need to build my kit, I want to test it with Robin. We are going to film the assembly of the module and how it works, and we're actually thinking of hosting a server right there because we have a static IP, we have a bandwidth, and we have we could host the server right here. That's where the name of Laboenligne comes from. It's actually Online Labs. That was a lab that I have, an IP lab here. So we can use it to host the server if there is some interest, because the only server there is now, it's in France. Yes. And it's all the room are in French. But they're talking about making a room for an English room, you told me?
Yes, there is already a room, which is the international room. But just for us, they're going to create a room just for the English version. And most of the people, every people on this room will just speak English.
Yeah, and what we're talking about is maybe hosting a server right here and in North America, so that can be used with a different room for Canadians and Americans, and maybe outside the North America, for a different room, even in French or English. But this is something that we're willing to think of, and if there is some interest. But it's something quite new, and the good thing about this is that it's not very expensive, and you can use any analog radio, even a cheap one like a Baofeng or something like that, and a Raspberry Pi with a module. I think it costs like $40.
Yeah, it's about $40 for maybe the Raspberry. Just the interface about $15 because it's just there is a couple of a composant in English. Component. And what is the best thing with this idea is just you have to use an analog radio first. So this is RRF means that you need an analog radio, and you just can listen on an analog radio. So it's just between analog radio, so you can use old analog radio, and it's the quality use a special codec, which is Opus. It's the name of the codec. It's an open free codec. So it's the quality is exactly if you were in an analog mode like in FM. So what we have to do is we have to record that, and we have to make a test, and we have to listen carefully. But the thing is, it's an analog, and that's what I like with the RRF. The sound is really a perfect quality. You don't hear comment dire en français, mais je vais y arriver en anglais.
Tell me in French, I can translate.
Yes, you don't hear it's there is a conversion from analog to digital.
It's probably PCM. It's probably just a sound card conversion to digitalize, but the codec should be close to what it will sound for an analog signal. Like right now, I'm streaming. Well, I'm recording an IP, but I'm using analog microphone with a console here. But it doesn't, it's still good quality, even though it is digitalized.
So when you hear RF, you think it's analog radio and it's coming from an analog device, but it has been converted. But, the quality is really like a FM radio.
This is a question I get very often from people who says, can I use an analog radio to use an open spot or a digital hotspot? But that's not the case. It doesn't happen. It's not possible. But with this technology, it's actually any analog radio, yes. So it's a lot less expensive.
And you have to use an analog radio. You can
that's it.
You cannot use a DMA radio. You can use a DMA radio as soon as you have an analog output.
Yeah, that's it. If you haven't, anyway, this is very interesting. I know that I connected to your hotspot, Robin, from here. I'm able to hear it. I cannot hear you because it's a simplex.
Exactly.
It's not a repeater, so when you're using your HT, I can't hear you. But I still and it does sound. It's I can't say it's similar to Echolink. I think it's better than Echolink.
It's better
in many ways. Many ways.
But you can directly go on RRF Dashboard.
Okay.
If you go on Google, on Google, you're looking for RRF RL like
you have it here.
RRF Dashboard, which is a Romeo Foxtrot dashboard, and you go directly on this dashboard, and on this dashboard you can really hear and listen directly. If you just click, you get the mouse here.
Yeah, there you go.
There is a little button here, so you just click here, and you can directly hear what.
Okay.
Yes,
I'm gonna turn up the volume here.
Yes, if there is transmission.
I should get the volume.
There is no transmission right now.
Yeah.
So there is a delay about 8 seconds, but you will hear directly the RRF, and if you like this type of sound, I'm quite sure you will not notify.
There's something there.
Yes, that it's you think
it's going through IP. Yeah.
Yes, it's like a VoIP, so the quality is really perfect. So if you before going further, and if you would like just to listen what it is, you go on RRF Dashboard, and you will hear, of course, French people with the French accent, and of course the language will be French, but you will have an idea of what the quality exactly of this sound.
Mm-hmm. So I will. Can you put it to pause just in case? I'm gonna close down the volume here. Okay, so I have the input from the PC into the console. So this is something interesting. Maybe we can show a map. There's a map there's about 200 repeaters, you say, in France, and a few spots outside of France, mainly French speaking.
Exactly. So if you go on Quart, which is a map in English, so maybe we will have an English dashboard. We have to do that. So all the repeater and the link are in France, but most of them
in Belgium.
Yes,
Yeah.
there is some in Switzerland. Oh, there is nothing. There is some people in Morocco, but it's not there. You have, of course,
not active now. Yeah.
Yes, the French people here in
the French Caribbean
French
island.
Caribbean.
Yeah.
There is some people here in Quebec.
There's you.
Yes, and there is another one, I think.
In Saint-Jean-sur-Richelieu.
Exactly. So you see it's a red, so this one is a link. The other one is green, so it's not connected right now.
Yeah.
And, here there is many rooms. So I'm sorry, I forget to tell you there is some people in Pacifica here. There is in Réunion Island here.
Yeah.
And here there is some people here in
French Caledonia or something like that.
Which is a Foxtrot Kilo, which is in New Caledonia.
And how does it work? The delay, is it acceptable between the when you have a conversation with these people?
It's less than from outside. So inside France, it should be about 50 or between 50 and 100 milliseconds. And when there is some people really, for example, the most delay, the longest delay I already seen was 300 milliseconds, and from the guy from Tahiti.
Okay. But this is half duplex, so it's not like a full phone conversation, exactly. Because an IP over 150 milliseconds can be problematic. Yes. But you have no problem getting in between the QSO on people having a conversation on a repeater in France?
No.
From here in Canada?
No, we just have from Canada to France, not at all. And some people just ask about 1 second or 2 seconds between the end of the transmission.
For any type of repeater, especially digital, we ask that the people to leave a break a few seconds. Yeah.
If you come back on the screen here, there is also another thing here. There is all the list, so it means that this is all the repeater connected. And there is another thing here, which is table here. No, sorry. There is yes, exactly. This one is like
you can use Google Translate if you want to read it in English.
Yes. And this is not a resume, but even in French, I don't know what to say. The name is in statistics. This is a statistic of the relay.
Okay.
This is by hour, and this is the French time, so from time from France. And here this is the most active transmission with the most active repeater.
Can you show the card? I think there's in the documentation. You can use again Google Translate to translate the website, so you will be able to read it in English. But
if you go on the top here, on the bottom here, you have all the information. So you have the documentation here, the RRF Dashboard, which is what it is, the WordPress from F5 NLJ, which is the guy who take the ID directly from SM6 SVX and create itself this repeater.
They reuse the idea to build the RRF repeater network.
Exactly. The first ID coming from SV6 or SV3 SVX, and it take again the same ID, and it directly do that just for the French people, and everything is coming from France. So it's why it's really French network. This is really just in France and only for French people who speak French. And it's what we would like to do. We would like to say, all right, this version is really interesting for us, and maybe we can find exactly the same and construct everything, build everything the same for the English people who speak just English.
Yeah, we can if there is some interest, or let us know if there's some people that build this type of project outside of France, what we're not aware of. Okay, for what we understand, they built that from scratch. They did that project. There are a few guys. They were very involved and built this, and seems to be very popular in France. Of course, Robin is originally from France, so it's a good way to keep contact with his friend in France. I'm radio friends, but it is something that can be interesting for the AM community. To you know how it is. I remember, sometime before an AM fest, I wake up in the morning and I say, okay, I want to try something new, and then it starts something crazy. Okay, in 2014, I started doing a C4 FM. I bought the radio HRI 200 plus the a mobile and an HT to do C4 FM, and started to with this mode. So this is the kind of thing that you, if you want to build a project, if you want to have your own room for your club or your group, this is something interesting, and we're open to host a server right here if there is some interest. So if you have some question, we will do a specific video on that setup, because Robin brought me the card, so I need to build the little card that goes on a Raspberry Pi, so I'll be able to connect my radio, and from there use my mobile as an hotspot with my HT, an EFM HT. And do you actually need two radio to put that up?
No, if you have a link, so it's a simplex, so you can yes, you need a handheld portable.
Yeah.
And from the portable, you activate your own.
We forgot to mention that in the French version, but this is something that I want to film the process, because other than listening to your hotspot from here, because we're so close by, I have no idea how it works, so I need to try it. I never had a QSO on it as well. So I want to build the card. I'm going to film it and explain it to it, and go to the dashboard and get familiar. And then we're going to come back and do a live show to answer your question, but with pre-recorded videos that we're going to be able to demonstrate to you guys.
And start from nothing.
Yeah, start from nothing. Say, like, it took me 20 minutes to build up the card, whatever, to put the components, and I've set it up, and it took me this, and that's how I did it. So try have that pre-film, so we can, if you watch our last video, the live, we were able to recall some videos with the drone. That's what we can do it with the setup, and this will allow us to explain things, but showing you image. There's nothing more. They say a photo is 1,000 words. Well, a video is maybe
10,000 words.
10,000 words, 10 times better. So this is something that we really want to do, to demonstrate. So this is the videos coming up, and if you have any suggestion, because we plan to do a live show or a pre-recorded show every 2 weeks, because it doesn't always have to be live. Like today, we're recording on Saturday the 27th of November, but we are recording, but what you see is what you get. It's like a live show for us, except we're not streaming live, okay? But we're using the same setup here to do the recording, but except of streaming to the internet, we're actually recording. And I did change the light in the studio. So we have some Dell light which are remotely controllable, dim colors. We have a color background here.
Yes, what do you think about that?
Yeah, and we want to know, I know that in the French video, we had another camera which was very grainy, so we remove it. And we brought the top camera and brought it a little bit lower, so we can have a nice view, but it still has a fisheye effect. So I will have to buy another camera, Robin. Yes. And I want to buy a switcher that is able to handle 8 ports and also can support macros and more function directly on the device. This has only 4 ports, and most of the time I need like 5 or 6 inputs, so I need another switcher on the side, but it doesn't allow me to have clean transition like this going between the camera because it's not part of the HDMI switcher, so I need to switch it before I switch. Anyway, there's something a bit complicated for nothing, but we want to go. I'm going to move forward probably in the beginning of next year. I'm buying the 8-port Atem Mini Extreme, they call it, and probably another camera, maybe some studio camera at some point. But let us know what you think of the lighting. I think it's better than last time. That was very flat, very... And now I just added the light. You can't see it, and that's a good thing. Okay, added the light, added the one of my 4K TV. I put it out of the wall, okay, and put it on the bench so we can have.
Can you show us with this camera, maybe?
Okay, I can do that. I will try.
Yes.
Hold on a second. Okay, so I will move
Bye
the
bye.
camera. Bye. It's the camera I
number
use
2.
for
Yes.
for Robin. And what you're gonna see here, okay?
This is
I'm gonna put it. Hold on. Okay, so,
it's
I wanna
live.
give you an
It's
edit.
live.
Yeah, it's like a live show. So let me.
Do you see? This
go in
is the
automatic,
TV.
Okay.
This is the TV. We will.
And we.
Yeah, here it is.
Okay, I'm gonna have to readjust Robin.
And zoom after. Okay.
Okay, so hold on a second. So you can see that this is the TV where we have the multi-view.
On the top, preview. On the top, on the left, program. On the right, we have the full camera.
Yeah.
1, 2, 3, 4.
And the media player, and we also have the audio. Okay, that you can see at the bottom at the right, and also the audio on the program output. So on the right top corner, you can see the audio level. Well, that's where we monitor, and we know that we have the audio, and it goes to -12. Yeah, that's it. And we also added, you see on top here, another light. There's 3 lights, okay? There is, they all LED now, so I removed the light bulb that I have in it.
And we can change the color.
And we can change the color and dim and whatever. So we did some adjustments. It should be okay. And we have some controllable dim light as well. We can change the color. So we have a color background to give us a nice contrast into the studio. So, maybe not perfect. I need to improve the camera, but it's getting better. I know the audio was.
And if we have any suggestion, just let us know.
Yes, just let us know of the quality. Let us know about the, and we also we have the shade. Hold on, okay. So I need to.
Hey, I'm back.
Yeah, you're back. Okay, hold on. Okay, let's adjust that. There's the video. Okay. Okay, Robin, you're getting.
Oh, perfect.
Okay, hold on.
Oh, I think it's okay.
I think it's a bit moving too much.
You think? No.
Are you back?
Yes.
Oh, okay. There's a problem
Hello?
with the focus. Hold on a second.
You have to put automatic, I think.
Yeah. Oh, it's already automatic, but now you should be great.
Okay.
Oh, yeah, it's good.
I think
Okay.
you have other project. When we do the French version, I think we talk about so many things. I don't remember everything.
An hour and a half. We talk about so many things.
So,
yeah.
Okay. So what is the other project? I think
the other project is to there's a video we want to do, and this was your suggestion. I don't know if you saw on my channel there's a video about the digital mode where I explain what is C4FM, DMR, D-Star, and what the difference, and the different type of reflector you can use with the digital mode. And this is something because I did not mention your name at the time, Robin, but we all know it was you.
Yes,
but,
it was inside. Yes.
Yeah, so Robin worked in a computer specialist, and he asked me what's the difference between the FCS, C4FM, the WireX network, the YSF, and and it's true. It's something you need to learn, because you need to understand what it's talking, which networks talk to which network. And this video is very popular, so thanks for the tips. So I did explain. You came in there, we talked about 30 minutes, and it was done. You understand. So I did a video, did about the same thing, so explained the same thing. But now what we would like to do is talk about, because this is another question I get from viewers, where I should start? C4FM, D-Star, DMR? So this is a question I get very often.
And what I really would like is to hear the difference between D-Star, C4FM, or DMR. And for me, the quality is really important. So maybe if we can add just a couple of seconds of DMR, C4FM wide, C4FM narrow, and just that the people will lessen the difference between every
type of mode.
Exactly.
Well, actually, I think it depends also of the radio, because I know with the most recent, D-Star has the most narrow sound, okay, because it was the first digital mode for AM, developed for AM, and started in the early 2000. I don't remember, 2006 or something like that. And at the time, internet was not unlimited. So anyway, there was probably some very good reason to have it narrow. But today with new radios, the latest model that you can buy for D-Star, you can actually adjust the bass and treble and have a very good audio. It is different. It is better. But they're all good, but they all have their strength. Okay, so the DMR is pretty cheap if you want to get into radio, but it's the most complex to because it's not made for ham radio specifically. It's commercial, so you need
commercial.
Yeah. And there's a lot of downside of DMR as well. So I don't want to get haters about it because they're all good as mode. But the most important thing is that you get the radio in a mode where you want to talk. So if you already have ham friends, if you're new, that's another thing. But you should get the modes where your friends are because, that's the whole point is to talk with your friends. And then, so this is important. The first thing to know is where you want to talk. But
or maybe you would like to talk on the 3 different. So
yeah,
make your test yourself.
Yeah, but if you can afford it, I should just buy them all and try them all.
Yes, exactly. And even
like we did.
Yes, like we did. And especially the P25. I think P25, there is a few people who are using
or
25.
an XDN.
Yes.
Yeah.
And, when you set up everything, you take maybe 1-2 weeks to be ready. And when you are ready, you make a 5 QSO. And after you say, all right, it's working. So
yeah, that's it. So it's all, and with the, I think it's the OpenSpot can translate with many mode. So transcode, that's interesting. If you buy an hotspot and you can buy one digital mode radio, and then you're able to use it on many platforms using the transcoding of the unit, to access those reflectors.
But we have to take care about that because some...
No, well, it's hardware into the OpenSpot tree.
And it's working fine?
Yeah, because there was some translation done between C4 FM and DMR in the past using software.
Yes, and
it was not perfect. It was not perfect. It is better, way better with the
sound level. The sound level was too... There was compression, without compression, so the sound level was a little
all
different.
these digital mode use the same chip, which is I tried AMB 2.0 or so. Anyway, there's a different version, but I think in the OpenSpot there is 2, so you can actually enter in one digital mode, and then you get into the PCM mode, which is sound card information, and then to the PCM of the other, and then out to the other mode that you want. So even though if it's 4 FSK or whatever, there's different type of modulation.
And then it's working fine.
And then it's working, but it's better. So, and there is some adjustment for the audio level.
I didn't try it.
Yeah. But I did a video, so you have the translation. But anyway, so this is a big subject. We can talk hours, and we will try. We can get into the console layer. We can get the audio directly from the radio and try to compare, or pre-record it so you can hear the difference. We will try to make it as real as possible, because sometimes, when depending how you get the audio and the sample maybe not representative, but
we will check. I'm quite sure we can really have a good sound.
We will need to try different radio to make sure that the radio.
Okay, great.
Because it will be analog to.
And especially in C4 FM, there is narrow and wide, and there is a big difference between the sound of the narrow and the sound of the wide.
Yeah, but the wide is close. Is the closest to FM.
Yes.
And we can even include the RRF analog audio converted into IP.
Yes, you will see the difference for sure.
Yeah.
RRF,
well, it's more like an FM signal. Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah. So, but it's still digitalized, because you will need to transport it in IP. You need to digitalize, but like you say, it will be more like a voice over IP or something.
Exactly. It's like a Skype or Teams or whatever. It's exactly the sound. You didn't difference if it's digitalized or if it's analog.
We are people watching us on YouTube. Our audio is analog, but it is digitalized anyway.
Exactly.
So, but it's still good. But we have a lot of bandwidth. We have a wider bandwidth.
Yes.
So I don't know exactly how it is, but I think it's 48 kilohertz. It is something I have some problem to understand sometimes.
Like a CD quality, something like that.
Yeah, for 48 kilohertz. This is a standard for video. Okay, 48 kilohertz.
44.1 or 48?
Well, it's about 10 times the bandwidth of a D-Star signal. I think so. I think it's 4800.
Yes.
for the D-Star?
44.148. I don't, and the D-Star.
Anyway, so probably if you have the answer to that, I know there's some audio guys that know that by heart and they will put in the comment. But this is something because all these video need preparation. We need to film, and we really want to know your interest about that. Maybe we can have a survey or something. But or if you have any other subject you would like us to discuss, we will do a show every Saturday, every 2 weeks. There's a good reason for that because my wife, she's a nurse. She works a weekend out of 2. So, and the weekend she's off, we always have activity plan. But
great. So I will be there. I will be there as soon as you ask me.
Yeah. And Robin is willing enough to come and chat with me. That is pretty cool. So I was looking forward for today. So
sorry for my poor English. Sometimes I'm I add the word and I say, hey, what is the word? And it's coming in French. But
you talk German. You said you talked to me in German in the last video.
Oh yes, this is for Friedrichshafen. No, yes, I remember. This is an inside joke between us. Yes.
My channel, when I started the website Laboenligne.ca, it was only in French because it was only a few guys here. We have fun. So I already have the setup in the lab here. That's why Laboenligne. And I already have that domain name. And I called the YouTube channel like this. Okay, bon. And which means online lab. And so I used that. And I got some email from people saying, wow, why your website is just in French? And then I noticed that 95% or more were only English. So I switched the website in English. And then over time, there's some people ask me to do some stuff in French. So now I'm doing a French and an English video. And this is something that we talk about in the French video. There's, in my viewers, the most viewers I get is from United States. It's maybe 45%. And the rest is international. There's only 10% in Canada. Okay, that's including English and French Canada. And there's the second country is France, of course. And then they will have German. German is a country that is in the top 5 with the UK. Okay, so and then you will have the other. I don't remember the exact order, but Germany. There's a lot of viewers from Germany. So I see you. Hi and say hi to everyone for every country. But
ich habe 7 Jahre Deutsch gelernt, aber ich habe alles vergessen. This is special.
Okay.
I just said in English.
You learn French. You learn German in school.
Yes, 7 years.
Okay.
And I came here in 1995, so I forget most of my German.
Okay.
But when I hear something in German, I do not make any effort to translate. It's coming back very easily.
Are you from an area? Because Robin is from France, but you've been here for a long time. But you're from close to Germany?
To Geneva.
Okay.
In Geneva, there is 3 ports in Switzerland.
Yeah.
One is the French, one is in Italian, and the other one is in Switzerland. In German. So this is not German, but in Switzerland there is a port who just speaks.
There's 3 official language: Italian, 3. French, and
yes,
German.
3, yes. And I think the biggest port is in German. Okay. Zurich, for example. Okay.
But are you close to the border where you're from?
Was a French people in Geneva.
Okay.
Genève.
But you're from Genève or
no? I was very, very close to Geneva.
On the border, you're close to the border with 30, Switzerland.
Exactly, about 20 kilometers from Geneva.
Okay, that's why. Because your name, your last name, I never asked you that, but your last name sound
Irish from Ireland.
Oh,
which
yeah.
is where the Lane is from Ireland.
Oh yeah. Okay, hold on. So I'm going to show how does it. It's written Delaunay.
Yes, the Delaunay, and the Lane is really from Ireland. So with the time, the Lane comes the Delaunay.
Okay, but so it's Irish origin name, yes. But for a long
for a long time because I was in close to Geneva, and this port go from Italian to France and Italian and France. Duché de Savoie, which is coming to back and forth from Italian to France and from to Italian and back to France. So the same people was about 100 years Italian and 100 years after coming back to France.
Okay, that's interesting. Yes. It's like Jersey, and Jersey, they have a special language there because it's owned now by the British, but it's been passed over French, English.
Exactly, so exactly the same. Land from Italian to France.
Yeah, that's very common in Europe.
So you can change country without moving.
It's the country that's changed.
Exactly.
That's not you.
No. Exactly.
Pretty cool. Anyway, we got off track a little bit of our subject, but the other subject we talk about is virtual Amfest.
Yes, it is. So, and also that you would like to take some video and you would like to go maybe to Dayton and what is the other?
Yeah, I want to go to Amcation this winter. Of course, I told the date we're the 27th of November, Saturday, 2021.
So when you
there's
come
a new variant of COVID that's out from South Africa, I believe. I saw that in the news yesterday. And this is, so I hope there won't be a travel ban because they want to, they're going to remove the requirement for the PCR test for Canadians when you come back from the States for the 72 hours and less, starting from the 30th of November. But I don't know what's going to happen now with this thing. But
anyway, if you go there.
But I want to go. Yeah, I want to go to Amcation. I want to go to Dayton. Dayton, I had my ticket in 2020. It was canceled, but they sent me the 2022. So I have my tickets for 2022. So I want to go into Dayton. Hopefully someday I would like to go to the European one with this Friedrichshafen. This is an inside joke because I have a hard time pronouncing that name.
And sometimes you don't say Friedrichshafen, not at all. Something really special.
No. So I try. I know you understand, but I do it on purpose to make you laugh. But
sure.
I have a hard time pronouncing that. Sorry, but I would like to go. That would be cool.
It's in Europe. So
yeah, Europe.
It's the biggest one in Europe.
Yeah, and the next one will be Tokyo, also in Japan. That will be something great. I think it's the largest. I think they have more than 30,000. It's a bit bigger than Dayton, I think.
But sure. It's not far.
It's a bit far.
Yes.
Yeah.
So it depends from which.
From where you start. That's it.
Yeah. Yes.
And there's a lot of ham, and I think there's 3 million hams in the world, and there is I think it's 1.2 in Japan, and 700,000 in the United States or something like that. Anyway, Japan and United States together holds more than half of the ham radio operators in the world. So.
It's strange because, yes, we can talk to Japan people of Japan ham radio and 40 meter from Canada.
Yeah, very easily. Very easily.
Often, yes.
Yeah. I mean, on FT8 especially, it's very easy to do Japan.
And even on 40 meter, on...
I know there's a lot of
CW.
density of population in Japan, so maybe in HF there's less AM than there is in VHF, UHF. I think it's probably more popular, especially with Tokyo, which is, I think it's 34 million of population.
It's why there are so many on C4 FM, on DMS. Yeah. There is many repeaters.
Yes, of course. Yeah, I think one of the first QSO I made in C4 FM was a Japanese station. And there's a lot of manufacturer there as well. So the big three.
Yes.
And it's amazing because in Tokyo, there's almost in one city the same population as the entire Canada, which is the second largest country in the world. And 60% are in from an hour drive to the United States border. That's where we live. That's our case here. So it's all up north. It's a pretty empty country.
Yes.
Per square kilometer, yeah.
Comparing to Tokyo.
Comparing to Tokyo, that must be. So we did some change, like I mentioned, in the studio. So let us know if you like the lighting. Is there something wrong? Don't be afraid to critic.
Maybe
we do. There you go. I'm going to help you so you can pick up some drink.
Okay.
So we are open to critics. Don't worry about that. So if you have but try to adjust the lighting. This is one part of the setup, and maybe in the future we talk about having some other I got a blank.
Some other ID?
No, some other people into the show. Okay,
Oh, yes.
so I need to buy some more mics, and this mic sounds very good, but it's pretty expensive. Okay, so it get close to $1,000 with the rack and the preamp, inline preamp, and the Canadian, of course, less in USD. But I'm able to put 4 into the console. But we also able to invite people and host them using a Zoom call, team, whatever you would like, and to integrate in the show that person. So
even with the video.
Even with the video as well. Of course, the sound will be depending on your sound input. But if you have some subject you would like to be a host, you have a club, you have an idea or something, let us know. Maybe we can try something depending. And we can also receive people directly in the studio, maybe add a table and other mics to have people in the show here.
Yes.
So to come and talk with us. Yeah.
Virtual Amfest?
Virtual Amfest. Yeah, this is something we talk about. This is going to be tough to do a bilingual show.
Yes.
But not impossible. It doesn't mean that we cannot have a host. What's the contrary of the host? Client?
No, with the Virtual Amfest, I think we can just, if you go on the French version, when you would like to make Virtual Amfest, maybe you can do Virtual Amfest in bilingual. So
yeah, we can have some people and have them have some part in English, have discussion in English with manufacturers and stuff like that, and have some stuff
it will
in
be
French. Yeah, it's possible.
It will be bilingual for sure.
Yeah, this is something because we didn't have any Amfest locally here in Quebec since 2019, since October 2019, which was the last one was Longueuil.
Yes.
Yeah.
And after Laval was cancelled because the first one here is Laval.
Yeah, but the last one was 2019 October,
so
and
then 2 years and a half.
And in March, Laval was cancelled, and
everything was cancelled.
Yeah, and no Amfest still since then.
So
that's it.
The next one will be in Laval for
maybe if it doesn't change. But we've talked also to bring the studio into a Amfest so we can have a live show directly at the Amfest, and maybe if I can buy some other gear because I need a lot of gear. Okay, I need to upgrade that. So anyway, having an HDMI wireless remote, so somebody can go and walk through the Amfest and present to us what's on the table. And this is something people like when I do videos of Amfest. It's never been live, but usually it is posted the same day of the Amfest. But then it live.
This time will be live. We will stream directly from the Amfest.
If we have a good internet connection in the Amfest, we can stream live.
Oh, nice!
And we can stream live and have someone go through the table with a camera and show live wirelessly. Okay, because we can go into the streamer into the HDMI, the wireless receiver and transceiver. It's only one way, okay, because you don't need two way for this. And then we can actually talk and watch on a monitor what they show on the table and talk about the Amfest, what we see. Because people at Amfest want to see things they are looking for because it's a discovery. That we mentioned that we have some nostalgia about old radio, our first HF, then you find one very, very clean, and then, you sat on the table and then you spend money because you were not supposed to, but you spend anyway, so you need to tell a story to your wife. Usually, when we plan, we know we're going to buy something, we try to sell something at the same time at the Amfest.
And we have cash in the pocket.
Yeah, and we just put a little bit more, we don't tell.
Yes.
I got a good deal.
Yes. What was your first radio?
She's watching the show, maybe.
What was your first radio?
FT101ZD.
Okay.
You have a 902DM.
Mine was FT902DM.
Yeah, so they look alike.
Yes.
They look very alike, and they have lamp final. They were built in the early 80s.
Yes, and when you hear something, you have to wait about 30 seconds or 1 minute to have to transmit. Yeah, because the heater was not on.
Yeah, but I always have the heater on right away when I turn on the radio because I cannot.
But there's a fan behind and it was noisy.
Yeah. But what I remember about this radio is that it was digital.
Yes.
Okay, so it was easy to tune the frequency.
It drifted.
Okay.
Do you remember it was?
Oh yes, it drifted. And there was only one dot. It it was 100 hertz precision or something like that. Yeah, and what I remember is the warmth of the lamp because the smell and the warmth of the lamp. I bought it used, of course. I had my license in 1991. I bought this in 1991 or early 92. I got a picture of that. I could have showed them, but I remember staying up at night doing DX. All the lights closed down, and sitting in front of the radio and feel the heat of the lamp and the smell. There's something particular. The dust. I don't know. No, it's something. It's just
electronic. Yes.
And since then, I can't imagine myself only doing radio over a computer because of that. I think it's something linked to that. I don't know.
Yes, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, you know what I mean.
Yes.
And it's probably the same thing with the amps that you have an amplifier, a lamp amplifier, which is automatic.
Yes.
Yes. So
me, personally?
Yeah.
Yes, it's Atem 2008 or something like that.
Okay. And how do you like it? You have it close or it's not in the shack?
No, he's in the shack. He is in the shack right now. But I like that. But most of the time, Atem is 2008. This one, especially this one, is for people like me, Yumi people. Where you can reverse the power, you can put whatever you want. Is really protected from so many ways that you cannot
damage it for just a mistake of flipping a switch at not the right moment.
200 watt in the input. Everything, there is always a reason why he tell you in protection mode. So most of the time when you start, this is the best amplifier, and this is the only one I use. And I have a couple of other amplifier before, but this one, is an amplifier for me. So it's a do me proof.
I remember when you have the remote head.
Yes.
Yes. Okay. So I have the Palstar LA1K. Which is it's a LDMOS solid state, 1 kilowatt.
It must be protected.
Oh yes, it is. It is. I don't have issue with it. It's very easy to operate. It's automatic. It's RF sensing, so I don't have to have the only connection I have to all my radio is the PTT, which I have a splitter for the PTT.
And the antenna?
Very simple. But the antenna, actually, I use a switch for the antenna, of course, and a switch for a radio. So I have a video on that showing how to use, because I have you have multiple HF too.
And you don't change the frequency, it's what you said?
Actually, I don't need to control. With the RF sensing, the good thing is I don't need the amp to synchronize the band to have it automatic.
Yes.
I don't need to have the RS-232. I can put it on, but I don't need it with the RF sensing. I just switch my HF, switch the antenna, boom. I use the amp.
It's exactly the same for Atem. So we give you directly the frequency, and everything is perfect.
You just give a PTT before you put it in
exactly. In one
standby. You put it in standby, you switch, then you put it on the air. That's it.
Exactly.
Okay, so it's the same. That's a nice amp.
Yes, Atem. I like that.
I remember when you bought it.
Yes. Well, I like this one.
Yeah. So this is I look at those, but the Palstar was less expensive. It's the 2,000 watt or 1,500?
This one is 2,400 watt, 2,400 something. It's 2 times 3,687-ish, I think.
Okay. So it must be warm in the shack when you use it. Mine gets warm. The Palstar gets quite warm.
Yes.
So that's normal.
And it's directly on the 240 volt.
Okay.
Not on 110 volt.
Okay.
So
there's something I've heard a fan or something. It just stopped.
Yes, maybe it was the fridge.
I think it was the fridge just behind you.
The beer here. The beer is just behind you. Yes, all right.
Okay. My God, it's a lot better.
Yes. Maybe there is no more power in the house.
Yeah, something. Yeah,
we are in UPS.
Yeah, we're gonna.
No, it's working.
Okay, so I think that's about it.
Yes.
How about it for today? So let us know if you have some ideas.
Some comments.
Yeah, in the comments below. We'll take a look at it and we'll come back for sure. So that's the setup, getting a improvement. I don't know, maybe it gets worse. I don't know. I think we did improvement. A lot of cabling were done, so there's nothing in our way. There's no PC here, so because we were looking at the PC, I was like this, so we have to watch it on the screen there. With the large screen, it's better, even with the multi-view, but you could have the dedicated view as well. So let us know what you think of the lighting and the camera.
And we read every comments.
Yes, of course.
For sure.
That's it.
Yes.
Okay. So
Take care.
now we'll try to make a move with my switcher here to see how it goes. On that, I'll say 73.
73.
Password.
Bye. Thank you again, Pascal.
Well, thanks for coming in and have a chat with me today, Robin.
Thank you. Take care.
Thank you. Bye-bye. There you go. Yes.